Republicans love worshiping false idols. Clearly, these folks never heard the story of Moses, never even watched the movie The Ten Commandments, and of course have never cracked open a Bible because they love to idolize and worship anyone and everyone on the right. And of course, we are watching that happen in real time right now with Charlie Kirk. Two Republican members of the U.S. House of Representatives, August Pfluger from Texas and Abe Hamada from Arizona, told Fox News Digital this week that they are going to put forth legislation to put Charlie Kirk's face on U.S. currency. Real spendable money from the U.S. Treasury, the U.S. Mint, with Charlie Kirk's face on it. Now, here's what they said. The coin, it's going to be a coin. It's not going to be a dollar bill, of course. It's going to be a silver coin, about 400,000 of them they want to print, weird number, but okay. And it's going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Okay, that seems a little demeaning to me, like servant. And I know they meant servant of the Lord, but still, servant doesn't necessarily have a great connotation. You want to honor the guy and put him on a coin that says, "Here's our servant." I mean, that's a little insulting. I wouldn't want my face on a coin where I'm referred to as a servant. That's just me. But here is what Hamada said. "His life must be commemorated, and this coin will allow us to pass a reminder of his remarkable life on to generations to come." Pfluger called Kirk a conservative titan whose transformational impact on millions of Americans deserves permanent recognition alongside our nation's greatest leaders and influential figures. Let me go ahead and burst y'all's bubble here. And this is bursting a bubble for MAGA and conservatives and all you freaks. The vast majority of this country, up until 2 weeks ago, had no idea who this guy was, didn't know he existed. And when I say vast majority, I'm talking about over 90% of the American public had no idea that this was even a person. He was not a transformational figure. He wasn't a Martin Luther King. He wasn't a Susan B. Anthony. He was a right-wing influencer. And yeah, a lot of the media outlets, a lot of the people who, again, had no idea who he was, referred to him as a right-wing influencer. Now, was he very influential on the right? Absolutely. Did he transform things on the right? Absolutely he did. I'm not trying in any way to diminish his presence within the Republican Party. But y'all are acting like you just lost, or the world just lost, a true transformational leader. All he did was transform, to a degree, the Republican Party, which the Republican Party is roughly not even quite 30% of the registered voters in the United States. And not everybody's registered to vote. So you're talking about a guy who may have had an impact on maybe 15 to 20% of the population. And even still, most people in that party still didn't know who he was. And I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm saying that as a fact of reality. Most people did not know who this guy was. My own family, by the way, when this happened, obviously lots of texts going on. They're like, who was this guy? What side of the aisle was he on? And my family is politically, connected, obviously. They pay attention to the news every day. They had never heard of him. My sister was like, I heard, from what I've heard, he's middle of the road. And then she started looking at some of his stuff. She's like, nope, never mind. Definitely not middle of the road. But they knew nothing of him, and they follow politics daily. So when I say most people don't know who he was, most people didn't know who he was. He's not somebody that needs to be commemorated on a coin. If you want to make your own Charlie Kirk memorial in your home, go for it. But down here in Florida, we're trying to rename roads after him. It's going to happen all over the country. Members of Congress have petitioned Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, to put a statue of Kirk in Congress. Y'all are worshiping a false idol. Not that he wasn't beneficial to your party. He absolutely was. But was he beneficial to the American public as a whole? No, he was not. Did he transform the way this country operates? Did he make change for good? No. No, he didn't. He helped a political party. You may as well make statues and coins of Karl Rove, or George W. Bush, or Lee Atwater. But you're not doing that. You idolize this guy. Something the Bible that you all claim to cling to every day tells you is a cardinal sin. Like literally one of the worst sins. I am the Lord thy God, right? And you guys are worshiping Trump as if he's God. You're now worshiping Charlie Kirk as if he's God, co-God, I guess, with Trump. You do realize that according to that book you claim to love so much, that is an immediate hell-worthy trespass, right? So, just something to think about as you try to force Charlie Kirk onto the entire country. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.